All right, so the results are in for our pick a card for the week of January 26th through February 1st. You were to select from card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. When you comment your card selection by Monday, January 27th, then you are in the running to win our January giveaway. Every week that you comment your card selection by the Monday after the video post, you are entered to win the pick a card. Entered to win the giveaway for the month. And so I want to say this is the last week for you to get your name in the hat to win for the month of January. So you want to make sure you comment your card selection down below. So this week, very, very quick announcements. You want to make sure that you get your tickets for my live in-person class. If you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, I'm doing a class with licensed therapist Neajala Hendricks Wilson, and she is the lady that you saw in the video with me during the Everybody's in Aquarius video. We are doing a live in-person class called The Secrets to Amplifying Your Abundance Through Crystals and Gemstones. And so if you are in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, make sure you click the link down below to get your ticket in advance. And it's $25, and it will be taking place on February 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. Also, make sure you click down below to watch Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, which was so cool because it actually is a 2-part video, which is so in tune with this Aquarius energy. If you know anything, Aquarius energy is not to be boxed in and following the rules. And so this video, Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, did not follow the rules of how all of my other astrology videos are. It was a Facebook Live video. It wasn't just me. I had Neajala Hendricks Wilson as well as her husband Sean Wilson in the video. And I mean, it was amazing. So you know what I always say, whenever the sun is in a particular sign, that is the energy that we are all focusing in on. It doesn't matter what your sun sign is. When we're in Aquarius season, you need to know what to how to function in Aquarius season. And so in part 1, I had my 2 co-hosts. And then in part 2, I did what I normally do, where I go through every sign from Aries through Pisces and tell each sign what to be focusing on during Aquarius season. So make sure that you check that out. That video is down below. Also, the video, my annual reading of the year, you can still watch that. That link is down below as well. So that is it for my announcements. So the opening intuitive message. I am really feeling this Aquarius energy, y'all. And you know, I'm a sun sign Virgo, I'm a rising sign Virgo, I'm a Gemini moon, but you know, we all have all 12 signs of the zodiac in our chart. And it's something about when we enter into a new sign, we all feel that energy. Whether we identify it in terms of astrology or not, it's like we can feel the energetic shift. And I'm really feeling the energy of Aquarius, which is very independent and freedom loving and non-conforming and going against the grain and thinking outside of the box and being okay with that. You know what I mean? And I'm really, really feeling that. And I'm wondering if you're feeling that as well. You can post that down below. But Aquarius season is the time when we should be allowing ourselves to non-conform in some kind of way, to be free a little bit. And last week, the pick a card reading for last week was the first full week in Aquarius season, we entered into Aquarius season during last week's pick a card reading. And last week's pick a card was all about, how to break free so that you can have your breakthrough, which is very much in line with Aquarius energy, which is freedom loving, being free, and not being held down. And this week we are also looking at, how can you really embody that freedom fully and that independence, so that you can live your best life. There are so many things, like right now, even as I'm filming this, I'm not at home. I'm actually at the beach. I know it's January, it's usually cold, but it's actually kind of nice right now. And also today I filmed the second part of Everybody's in Aquarius, including you. I did that live on Facebook. Hopefully, yeah, that should be up here on YouTube as well. But I did that live on the beach. And, you know, it's something about this time when we should all be thinking outside of the box, where we should all be freeing ourselves up to have the experiences that we want to have. Sometimes we think that what we want has to come a certain way, has to look a certain way when it comes. I don't care what it is. You know, it could be your job, it could be love, money, relationships, how you raise your children, whatever. And we have these very stringent, strict, very structured, it's got to look this way, of going about those areas of our lives. But then Aquarius season hits and it reminds us that no, you know, you can still live your best life, and it doesn't have to be the way that you assumed it had to be. You know, think outside of the box. So I encourage you this week to really think about how can you live your best life, or how can you go about living your best life in a way that's outside of the box. Where are you limiting yourself and you're thinking, oh, it's got to be like this. My breakthrough has to come like this. My blessing has to look like this. My relationship, my mate, how I live my life, how I make my money, whatever, has to look this way. You know, I'm encouraging all of us this week to reflect on all of the things that we say have to look a certain kind of way, and to think outside of the box, and to allow the blessings that we want for ourselves to come in ways that perhaps we would not have thought about on our own. We would not have, had the mindset to think of in that kind of way. So to just, you know, free yourselves up. I'm really feeling that way, you know, that a lot of us this week and all of Aquarius season, you know, no matter what sun signs we are, we really have to, some of the blessings that we want to come into our lives, they're right there. They're like right there. They're just waiting on you to free yourself up and to just allow it, and to put I don't want to say put your guard down, because I do believe in healthy boundaries and whatnot, but I'm saying like put down the limitations, put down, this notion that it has to come and look a certain kind of way, because it doesn't. You know, whenever you are ready for the good to flow into your life, it flows into your life. You know, it's only limited by you. We are the only ones who limit our blessings and our breakthroughs. So I want you to think about that as we are going through all of the card groups here. Think about how you can free your own mind and think differently, so that you can live your best life. All right, so that's it for my opening intuitive message. Make sure you come back here and listen to that throughout the week. And also, as you listen to whatever card group 1, 2, or 3, whatever the results are, you know, come back and listen to the opening intuitive message, because it always, you know, ties into it some kind of way. All right. So that is it. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Those of you who selected card group number 1, your reading is up next. All right. So those of you who selected card group number 1, these are your results. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure you click the link down below to watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's in Aquarius, including you. We are in Aquarius season, so no matter your sun sign, it doesn't matter. Aquarius is the one that is teaching us all of the lessons that we need to know right now. And what's very special is that part 1, I did it, the video is done with 2 Aquarians. Actually, I got to interview for part 1 of that video. So that link is down below. Also, if you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, click the link down below to get your tickets for the secrets to amplifying your abundance through crystals and astrology. And that is an in-person class that I'm doing with licensed therapist Neogela Hendricks Wilson, who is also in my Aquarius video. And so we are doing that on February 7th in Greensboro, North Carolina. Tickets are $25. So make sure that you get your tickets now in advance. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, January 27th. This is the last week to get your name in the hat for the January giveaway. So if you're watching this on or before Monday, January 27th, comment your card selection to be in the running for that. And then watch the annual reading of the year, book your personal reading, leave a love offering, get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. All right, that's it. Let's get into it. Oh, and also listen to the opening intuitive message. Okay, so I don't have crystals or gemstones or anything like that like I normally do on top, just some beautiful flowers and seashells. And so I don't have a lot to say about it other than it's pretty, isn't it? And look at that seashell, because I am at the beach while I'm filming this. So I figured, hey, incorporate some stuff from the beach. All right, so the card that's on top of here comes from a goddess energy deck, and the goddesses speak to us all, whether we are a man or a woman, whether we believe in them or not. And so the goddess that chose to speak to you this week, oh my gosh, this goddess here has, you know what, I should do a video on which goddess comes up the most in the pick a card readings, because I think she might be the winner. Kuan Yin has appeared in so many pick a card readings over the past few months, so I guess y'all really need her message. This week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in terms of freeing yourself so that you can live your best life. And we are in Aquarius season, which is all about freedom and thinking outside of the box. Kuan Yin is very much about empowerment, empowering you to be compassionate to yourself and to be compassionate towards others. As you see, it says compassion underneath there, but just understanding that no matter what is going on in the world, there's always goodness, there's always love. And so I would say that this week you need to, in order to free yourself, you have to remember to love yourself, to love others, and to have compassion. And that is where your freedom comes in, to live your best life. I'm gonna read two messages from her. The first is her empowerment message, and the second is her alignment message. So her empowerment message says, compassion is what's needed right now to help you release perfectionism and defensiveness. The purpose of compassion is to help reduce suffering in the world. So be mindful not to judge yourself or others too harshly as you stumble through life's obstacle course. In fact, tuning into the energy of compassion and kindness almost instantly eradicates, the stirred up energy of controlling thoughts and knee-jerk behaviors. The Chinese goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin, offers a gentle nudge to ask yourself this question: what would kindness do in this situation? If you approach everything with that in mind, you will discover solutions and new paths unfolding before you. In fact, living with compassion as your guide really changes everything, right down to the products you buy and the food you eat. Today, make kindness a priority. The world will be a better place, and you will feel amazing as you see the miracles light up where you least expect them. Wow. So that's her empowerment message to you. Her alignment message, just in case you get yourself out of alignment with compassion, says, are you feeling overwhelmed by all the suffering in the world and you can't imagine how you can make a difference? Do you feel hopeless over how we treat nature and each other? The goddess Kuan Yin knows that this is an important time of reckoning and reordering, but wants you to be careful not to fall into a pit of despair. If you allow the media to fill your mind with a constant barrage of what's wrong in the world, you will become numb and unable to move. The good news is in your alignment task. First, focus your mind locally. Your choice is not to save the whole world, but to bring your attention to where you can help. Even the smallest step toward a greater compassion is huge. Educate yourself about cultural issues and be better and more conscious and sensitive about your choices. Lend a helping hand to someone in need, volunteer your time, and choose one act of random kindness daily to help alleviate suffering. Do what you can and make it count. Always ask in your work, your relationships, and your community, how will what I do serve others well? Remember, if you remember, if you don't get it right, you can always course correct. With commitment, you will add more beauty to the world. Everyone is learning right now, and Kuan Yin reminds you to be kind to yourself too, as you accept your role in birthing a new world into being. Wow. So how do you free yourself so you can live your best life? The goddess Kuan Yin came up for you and said, hey, be kind, be compassionate. Don't overwhelm yourself with everything that's going wrong in the world. Don't inundate yourself with that, because then you won't feel like you can live your best life. You won't feel like anything can change. But when you're compassionate and patient with yourself, compassionate and patient with others, then everything else, you know that things go wrong in the world. That's just how things happen, but things also go right. So always keep that in mind. All right, so you know what I always tell you to do, to Google the goddess Kuan Yin if you want to know more about her story, because all of the goddesses have stories that teach us more in-depth lessons. All right, so the other cards that came up for you. This card on the bottom is where you are now and just your general wisdom and guidance. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. So, wow, okay, so you receive the 10 of Swords, and it is crossed by the Hanged Man. The 10 of Swords, and it is crossed by the Hanged Man. The 10 of Swords is a card oftentimes that comes up when there is betrayal. And what I'm also hearing and feeling right now is that it's not just betrayal from somebody else, like somebody did you wrong, somebody lied on you, somebody you trusted, betrayed your trust. But we betray ourselves too. And that's the worst kind of betrayal, when you betray yourself, when you feel like you can't even trust yourself, when you feel like maybe even your own choices and decisions have led you to have put your back up against the wall, or you stabbed your own self in the back, sort of thing. But again, I mean, it could be, you just feeling betrayed, or dealing with betrayal, or feeling having to learn to trust again. And the thing about this Ten of Swords energy is that sometimes it's so painful or it's so jarring that you feel like you can't recover from that. But remember, this week we're looking at, how to free yourself up so that you can live your best life. And so if you're feeling betrayal, whether it's from somebody else or from yourself, what came up with this card is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about surrender. The Hanged Man is about understanding that it's some things you can't control, understanding that there are forces, God, the universe, your ancestors, whoever, who, that you just have to surrender to, that you can't control everything. You definitely can't control other people, and you can't control the past. So if you were the one who did the betraying, or you betrayed yourself, or you went and see, you betray yourself when you go against your own intuition, which you know in your gut you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. And when you go against that, that's self-betrayal. Right? And so, if you're suffering the consequences or, the outcome of any kind of betrayal or mistrust or hurt or just stagnation in your life in any kind of way, it doesn't even have to be betrayal, then the Hanged Man crossing the Ten of Swords is saying this week, this is a good time to just surrender. Like, get your mind off of it. You see him just hanging upside down like, la, 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 I'm going to be all right. I'm just going to surrender and trust that everything will work out in my favor. Because sometimes the more you put your hands on it, trying to fix it, trying to make it go right, trying to get a redo, trying to, fix the past or make somebody apologize to you, or sometimes you dig a deeper hole for yourself. So the Hanged Man is saying, just surrender. Just this is a great time for prayer, meditation, and just saying, what, how can I relax in this situation, in this point in time in my life, to allow all of the moving parts that I don't control to get into position. So when the Hanged Man shows up, it's also a time to just not only just take your mind off of it, but just go, you might have to kind of live in a meditative state. Like even in your awakened, conscious, functioning, going to work brain, still just kind of be like, la, la, have a meditative state of mind. Don't stress, don't worry, don't try to figure it out. And even when it's still looking crazy, if there's still anything this week that's still looking like Ten of Swords, insanity, craziness in your life, just say, hey, it's working out. you know, sometimes things get worse before they get better. It's like when you clean your house, right? When you pull all your junk out, it gets worse before it gets better. And but it is getting better. The hangman is like, it's letting you know it is getting better. So be patient, like Kuan Yin said. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Be patient and compassionate with others, because other people make mistakes. You know, other people make mistakes, and just allow you know, the forces that be to, you know, if it's somebody that needs to apologize to you, you can't make them do that. You know what I mean? That's going to take the universe, God, it's going to take something, their own conscience, to bring them to that place. And so instead of you trying to force it, get into the hangman mode and just say, hey, that's above my pay grade. I don't even have the power to change that situation. The only way for me to change it is to just chill and relax and trust that everything will be okay, right? So that's what you got to do. Or that's my suggestion. I don't ever tell y'all what you gotta do. It's your life. Wow, this is really interesting. So then your oracle, a wisdom card that came up is mending. And mending really is a card of forgiveness and compassion, and you know, understanding that the past is the past, but understanding that you cannot move forward if you're still dealing with hurt and resentment and unforgiveness. Excuse me. So let me read what mending says. It says, forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. Wow. And this week we're looking at how to be free so you can live your best life. If you are holding on to resentments, if you're holding on to, you know, how somebody did you wrong, or the betrayal, or maybe even how you have betrayed yourself and got yourself in a jam in some kind of way, get into the hangman, let that go, because it's some things you can't fix it on your own. How you fix it is taking your hands off of it and allowing the Most High to fix it for you, right? And just trusting that it'll be okay. But your role in it is to just forgive. And what is the saying? I know it sounds cliche, but it's real. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. So when you forgive and you just like, you know what, I'm just, you know, I'm still healing from that. I get it, but you know, I'm not going to wake up every day angry and mad and hurt and resentful about whatever happened. Okay, I'm a heal because I need to heal so I can live my best life. I'm gonna give myself compassion for all the times or years or weeks or whatever that I was upset, but I'm also going to be compassionate towards the other person. Now, whether the other person or other situation belongs back in my life, maybe they don't. But you know what? It's funny because if you're letting a situation go, but you're angry about it every day, even if you let them go, you're thinking about them every day. So you really didn't let it go. You're still angry about it every day. So you really didn't. They may not physically be in your life anymore, but they're emotionally present in your life. So it's about still letting that go so that you can move on, so that you can let the love, the wealth, the abundance, the joy, the happiness, the peace, the best life, the healing, the physical health, the mental health, all of that into your life. Whatever is holding you back, whatever is keeping you bound in an emotional state and keeping you from breaking free and living your best life, let it go. Even if you have a right to be mad about whatever happened, you don't have a right to stay in a state that keeps you from living. All right. So free yourself so that you can live. All right. So that is your reading for this week, January 26th through February 1st. Make sure you go back and listen to the opening intuitive message that I gave at the probably about 7, 8, 10 minutes into the very beginning of the video after the opening announcements, because what I said there will give you deeper insight into these results here. Come back and listen to this throughout the week, because something I said today might make more sense to you later on. Click the links below to watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's an Aquarius, including you, to get your tickets for the secrets to amplifying your abundance through crystals and astrology, to book a personal reading, to get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and to leave a love offering if this reading has benefited you in any kind of way. I greatly appreciate those. All right. So that is it. And until we speak again, as always, I am wishing you so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome to the results for card group number 2. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, January 27th if you want to be in the running to win our January giveaway. This is the last week to get in the running for January, so you want to make sure you do that if you're watching this on or before Monday, January 27th. Also, click the link down below to watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's an Aquarius, including you. We are in Aquarius season, so I don't care what your sun sign is. We are all learning the lessons of Aquarius, and I actually had 2 Aquarians to be in part 1 of that video with me, so it was very, very interesting. I really liked that video, so make sure you watch that. Also, get your tickets for the secrets of to amplifying your abundance through crystals and astrology. That is a live in-person class that will be taking place in Greensboro, North Carolina. So if you're in that area, make sure you get the tickets because that class will be taking place on February 7th with me and licensed therapist Neashla Hendricks Wilson. Tickets are only $25, so make sure you get that in advance. And then like, subscribe, share, book a personal reading that's down below. Get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and leave a love offering or donation if you're benefiting from these readings in any kind of way. All right, so this week, I don't have any crystals on top like I normally do. I'm actually filming this at the beach. So I said, put some seashells on there. So we just have some seashells and pretty flowers. So I don't have any deep meanings like I normally have when I do these. But, you know, it's nice to look at. So this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to free yourself to live your best life. And with this, if you go back and listen to my opening intuitive message, I talk about as, you know, really being fully into Aquarius season right now, which is all about freedom and independence, you know. And so a lot of us need to be free enough to allow the good that we want in our lives. So make sure you go back and listen to that, because that will help you have a deeper understanding of what I'm going to share with you here. The goddess that chose to speak with you this week, oh wow, she came up a couple of weeks ago. Parvati is how her name is pronounced, and it says devotion up under here. She is a Hindu goddess who is, yes, she was very much devoted to Lord Shiva, if I remember correctly. She really, because she's so devoted, that's her message to you this week, is to, I would encourage you all to really look at what does living your best life mean to you? And how do you have to devote yourself, or what do you need to devote yourself to in order to experience and have that in your life? Because Parvati, I'm trying to say it the right way, but she was very much about being so focused and devoted to her, to the love of her life, which was also, the love of her life was very much connected to her own purpose and her own calling, that it didn't matter what the outer circumstances looked like. It didn't matter what it, even when everything looked like it was going opposite of what she wanted, she just doubled down on her devotion and her focus and her meditation. She went into serious meditation and visualization to only see the outcomes that she wanted for her life. And so, you know, that is something that perhaps you need to be thinking about this week. I'm going to read 2 messages from her. The first is her empowerment message, and then the second is her alignment message, just in case you get yourself out of alignment. So her empowerment message says, True commitment comes from wholehearted living in body, mind, and spirit. When the Hindu goddess Parvati rises up to greet you, she is acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth. With the world in so much turmoil, it's not easy to devote yourself to higher knowledge and a strong faith. But if you are to serve others by being a bearer of love, compassion, and light, you must recommit yourself every day as unwavering in your devotion as Parvati was to Shiva in her goal of bringing peace to the world. Parvati asks that you find silence and daily meditation to contemplate your devotion as well as your commitment to all of life and to making this world a better place. The great goddess is present when you renew your devotion and make that relationship primary above all else. Then in all areas of your life, your every choice will be in alignment and in service to this truth. When the goddess Parvati comes to visit, it is a beautiful sign that you are on the right track. Wow. So yes, stay devoted. Her alignment message says, the goddess Parvati comes now to offer her help because blind faith in others isn't serving you. And devotion to something undeserving may be showing up in your life. Ask yourself, why are you so committed to someone or something you know deep down will fail you? Are you afraid of seeing things as they are? What if you let go and allow a higher force to guide you to the right people, places, and things that are in your highest and best good? Can you remember when the devotion to this ultimate spiritual partnership was reciprocated? Consider what happens when you place your attention only on money, status, ambition, and power. The world becomes narrow, and you lose connection to a higher existence and your greater good. The goddess Parvati offers this alignment task. Get your spiritual life in order. Make prayer and meditation part of your daily routine. Act as if and believe that what is for you won't go past you, and that what must proceed will do so without your interference. You will be amazed at how everything falls into place. The goddess Parvati reminds you that you are so loved and cherished. Wow. So her alignment message is basically saying that, sometimes we become so devoted and committed, like undying devotion to people and things that don't deserve it. And so if you read her story, and I always encourage people when the goddesses appear to go and Google their story so you can get a deeper insight. But when you read her story, her devotion was very much connected to her life's purpose. And so you will know who and what to be devoted to, who to give that undying devotion to, because it's connected to your purpose. It's not just devotion that had, in an attempt to boost your self-esteem, to love yourself. You know what I mean? It's devotion that's in alignment to your ultimate purpose. So make sure this week, as you're freeing yourself so that you can live your best life, define what your best life is, really define that. And then who and what do you have to be devoted to? And first and foremost, I hope it's yourself. Get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. Anyway, because it's that kind of devotion that will keep you focused on your overall purpose and your reason for being and your reason for living. All right. So again, make sure you Google this goddess, Google the goddess, so that you can learn more about her story and get more details on how her story can impact your life. So the card on the bottom here is where you are now, your general wisdom and guidance. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. And so you receive the Seven of Pentacles, and it is crossed by the star. The Seven of Pentacles, and it is crossed by the star. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card of, when I see this card, I know it's like patiently waiting. I know it's like, okay, I've done all I can. It's like a farmer who puts his seed in the ground and the fruit does not come up immediately. The fruit doesn't even come up the next day, right? You have to keep watering that fruit. You have to stay devoted, like Parvati said, staying devoted and committed. And it's through that devotion and commitment that you see the outcome, that you see the fruit manifest, that you see your best life coming to you, basically, is what I'm saying. So the things that you have to stay committed to, the things that you've started, the seeds that you put in the ground, the things that you've initiated, the relationships that you started, the business perhaps as you started, or maybe rebuilding the relationship with your child. I don't know. You have to make this apply to you because you're not the only one who selected card group number 2. So make it work for you. But whatever it is that you initiated, that you truly felt in your heart, this is something that I should put my energy, effort, money, time, whatever into, then if it's worth it, and it was something that you should have poured into, and it's in alignment with who you are and your purpose, then trust that the fruit, the harvest, the outcome that you desire is coming to you. Just like a farmer, you just have to go out there, pull the weeds, be patient, trust that what you are, the outcome that you are hoping is coming. The more you nurture that thing, the more you pour love and life into it, then that is what will bring it into fruition. Is what will bring it into life. It is crossed by the star, and the star is a card of renewal and refreshing and healing. And sometimes when we are waiting on our ship to come in, we're waiting on our fruit to come, we're waiting on the outcomes that we desire for our life. Sometimes we can go back into the past and start reflecting on the things that didn't go right, didn't go well, how it didn't work the first time, how we've been waiting so long for this thing to manifest, whatever. And the star is reminding you, no, be not just be patient, but just it's a card of healing and renewal, and knowing that whatever happened in the past, you're healed from that. It's okay. Stay in the present. Keep watering your fruit. Keep nurturing the good relationships. Keep nurturing that business that you want to see, be profitable. Keep, nurturing yourself. Keep bringing healing and replenishing to yourself, and good energy and refreshing. And it's also kind of like I'm seeing it also as a good omen of what is to come. And is that when your fruit comes in, it will be refreshing. It will be healing. It will be like something you've never seen or experienced before. You'll be like, wow, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I was patient when I put that fruit in the ground and I didn't see it come up immediately. When I, said I was going to heal my relationship with my children, and I thought the next day it was going to be all good, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? I'm glad I kept pouring that love there. I'm glad, whatever it is for you, because eventually the star is saying, that healing and that refreshing and that renewal and that rejuvenation is coming, is on its way. And actually some of you, like Parvati said, that whole being, no matter what is happening in the outer world, it doesn't matter, because you know that what you're devoted to is so on point and in line with your purpose that it has to manifest for you. So if you already get in a state of healing and refreshing and rejuvenation, then that will make your waiting time, like the 7 of Pentacles, it'll make that waiting time, what you're waiting for, that much more joyous and peaceful, because you know that the good that you are desiring for your life is indeed on the way, is coming, is absolutely coming, and makes the waiting time more pleasurable. And if you look at somebody who gardens, right, it's not about just the fruit itself, getting, only being happy when you see your tomatoes come out the ground, right? It's all about the watering it and the pulling of the weeds and talking to your plants. And all of that, is what makes the fruit that much sweeter when it does come, because it's all about the love and the nurturing and who you have to become in the process of waiting for that harvest to come into you. So, make this time sweet, make it pleasurable, speak life into the things that you are waiting to come up, speak healing into your relationships, speak abundance into your business, whatever, as you're waiting. The same way that people talk to flowers and they say, oh, because look, these flowers, when you talk to them, it makes them grow, talk life into them, speak life into, whatever it is that you're wanting to grow and heal and be nourished in your relationship or in your life. And you will already experience the joy of that outcome even before it comes. So the waiting then won't be this horrible wait time, because you'll already be happy, right? So the wisdom card that came up for you is never ending story. What stories are you telling yourself that's keeping you going around in circles? Let's see. I'm going to read the message that this card has. Let's see. Never ending story. Self-criticism. The wounded ego. Unnecessary dramas. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. So any stories that keep running through your mind like, oh, it's not going to work, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I can't have the love that I want, I can't have the money that I want, I can't live my best life. You know, if you have those thoughts repeating, you know, in your mind, or you think like, wow, this is what my best life would look like, but I don't think I can actually have it. You remember this week we're talking about how to free yourself from that. So free yourself from the stories that you tell yourself that are not in line with your best life. Any story in your mind that you keep repeating that is not in line with what the best life that you say that you want and deserve for you, then get rid of that. That story is not helping you. Instead, be like poverty and go into that deep meditative state where she meditated so hard that she was almost like not even in this world. You know, so you have to see beyond what your eyes can see. Even with the Seven of Pentacles, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is trusting and believing in something that you can't see yet, and knowing that it's coming to you. So you don't have time to get caught up in the never-ending story if you want to live your best life. You got to let go of the stories that keep you bound so that you can actually have the freedom and the joy and the abundance and prosperity, whatever it is, the love, whatever it is for you, the healing, because the star is all about healing, the healing of your relationships or healing of your body, whatever that you want for yourself. You got to let go of any never-ending stories that don't benefit you. Okay, so that is it for your reading for this week, January 26th through February 1st. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, January 27th, if you want to be in the running to win our January giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat for January. Comment below how these videos are helping you. Leave a love offering or donation. That link is down below if these readings are benefiting you in any kind of way. Book a personal reading, because you're not the only one who selected card group number 2. So if you want something that is specific and personalized for you, book a personal reading. That link is down below. Also, get your tickets for the secrets of amplifying your abundance through crystals and astrology. And watch Everybody's an Aquarius, including you, since we are in Aquarius season. I think you're going to get a lot of insight and freedom. Just it'll free you up watching those two, part 1 and part 2 of those videos. All right, so that is it. And until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing you so much peace and love. Thanks so much for watching. Greetings and welcome to the results for card group number 3. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, January 27th, if you want to be in the running to win our January giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat to win our January giveaway. I think it is. I keep saying that, but you know what? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. That's right, because this week is February 1st. Okay, so scratch that. Okay, so yes, make sure you comment down below by Monday, January 27th, if you want to be in the running to win the January giveaway. And it is the last week to get in your name in the hat for that. Also, get your tickets if you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area for my in-person class that I'm doing alongside licensed therapist Nyajala Hendricks Wilson. We are doing a class on February 7th called The Secrets to Amplifying Your Abundance Through crystals and gemstones. So those tickets are down below. And for $25, only $25 for this 2-hour class. And when you click down below, you can also watch our introduction video, which is very interesting because we already start teaching in the video. So you want to go ahead and watch that. Also, Neogela Hendricks Wilson is also featured in my Everybody's an Aquarius, Including You video. That is finally up. And she and her husband are in part 1, and they really go into detail on Aquarius energy. That's such a lively video. Y'all are gonna love it. You know what I always tell you, no matter what your sun sign is, when we are in Aquarius season, we are all Aquarians. We're all being influenced by the energy of Aquarius. And so you can watch that to learn more. Book a personal reading, get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and leave a love offering if these readings are benefiting you in any kind of way. It doesn't matter how much the offering is. It's just, you know, to show your love and your appreciation. Like, subscribe, and share. All right. Oh, and also go back and listen to the opening intuitive message that I did at the very beginning of this video, because it will give you deeper insight and wisdom on what I talk about here when I flip these cards over. This week, we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of to free yourself so you can live your best life. Now, I don't have any crystals and gemstones on top of here like I normally do. I'm actually at the beach as I'm filming this. So I had this beautiful bouquet of flowers. So I put the flowers down and some seashells. Isn't it pretty? So anyway, and it's purple. Isn't it so pretty? It's like regal and royal or something. So I don't have anything profound to say about that. So the goddess, this card here comes from a goddess energy deck. The goddesses speak to us all, no matter whether we're man or woman, whether we believe the goddesses existed or not. It doesn't matter. It's their stories that teach us lessons. And so the goddess who wanted to teach you a lesson on how to free yourself to live your best life is the goddess Persephone. Oh my gosh. All of the goddesses this week are ones that have shown up before. Wow, how to free yourself to live your best life. Persephone appeared, and she, as it says here, in experience, she reminds me. She has a very naive energy. She, is the goddess that represents spring. And when you think about spring, it's like new life. You know, the flowers are just budding. You know, it's like the birds and the bees, like everything is starting fresh again. But there's a very youthful energy to that. It's like, no matter how old you are, we all enter into new phases of our lives where we are inexperienced. And on one hand, that inexperience can be good because, we're stepping into something new and we're allowing ourselves to grow and to learn. On the lower end of that, though, is that sometimes we make choices that we wouldn't have made if we were more experienced. But then again, even that poor choice teaches us a lesson so that we come out better and stronger. And so I'm going to read the message that Persephone has for you this week. I'm going to read 2 messages, her empowerment message and her alignment message, okay? So her empowerment message says, sometimes not knowing is a great gift. Right now, the Greek goddess Persephone invites you into a state of open-hearted learning. Discernment comes with experience, and at this moment, it's okay to admit you don't know or fully understand what is in front of you. Be curious and teachable. The goddess Persephone will be with you to ensure you will not fall prey to unconscious commitments and dangerous alliances, just as her own naivete caused her to strike a terrible deal with the god of the underworld. That said, every experience has value. No matter what choice you make right now, the consequences will have a lasting effect as you integrate your lessons and travel the road of destiny. Wow, that's good. So it's okay, to your inexperience. How are you going to learn unless you take a leap of faith, and allow yourself to be teachable? That's a part of life. And this week we are looking at how to free yourself to live your best life. So sometimes we can get so stuck and stagnant on the life that we've already lived because we know it and it's comfortable and we're afraid of doing anything new. And sometimes living like that for years, you don't even know what you want. So sometimes you just have to try new things so you can figure out what you want. But understand that in trying new things, you're also stepping into the realm of inexperience, because you're stepping into things that you don't know. Yeah, so let me read her alignment message. It says, the goddess Persephone was forced to pay a high price as restitution for what she thought were innocent actions. Today, she is a wiser goddess and is encouraging you to stop what you are doing and pay attention to the red flags. Don't take a bite of the forbidden fruit unless you are willing to pay the price. The alignment task offered to you by Persephone is simple. If you feel unsure in any way about what is being offered to you, step back and ask, do I have enough knowledge and strength to explore this without attachment to what lies ahead? If the answer is yes, jump in. If the answer is no, consider the wisdom of waiting for this or something better now manifest for you in divine timing. Don't fall for the seduction. It won't be worth the price. So that is the flip side. When you're going out there and you're discovering how you want to live your best life and you're stepping out of your comfort zone, also know that you'll also perhaps encounter situations or people or circumstances that aren't for your highest good. So always ask, is this really what's best for me? Do I have enough information to make the choice that I'm feeling pressured to make right now? Don't fall victim to feeling pressured to make choices. And sometimes people present you with choices because it's in their best interest and not in yours. So always ask what is in your best interest, and then act accordingly. But also don't allow that to keep you so afraid that you don't step out there and do what's best for you. Go out there in the world, try new things, have new experiences, but always keep in mind that you're doing what is in your highest good and what's in your best alignment for you. All right. So that is the wisdom that Persephone has for you. You know what I always tell you to do? Google the goddess if you want to learn more about her story, because all of the goddesses have stories that teach us deeper lessons that we need to know. So the cards that came up for you here, the one on the bottom is where you are now, your general wisdom and guidance. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. So you got the Three of Wands, and it is crossed by the Seven of Swords. The Three of Wands, and it is crossed by the Seven of Swords. So the Three of Wands is a card of waiting for your ships to come in, almost literally, right? If you see the guy on this card, he's like looking out over the ocean. I don't know how well you can see that, but he's looking out over the ocean, kind of like in anticipation, like knowing that something is coming back to him, knowing that he put his ships out to sail and that it's coming back to him, knowing that he has sown and now he's ready to reap. You know what I mean? He's waiting on maybe his good to come back to him. It's a hopeful card. It's like, okay, I'm taking this leap of faith, hoping that this works out, and so now I'm waiting for it to see how it's going to come back to me. With it being a wands of the suit of wands, the wands always represent passion and drive and energy. Sometimes sexuality, it's your sex drive or sexual passion. But a lot of times it's more so just your ambitions, your personal ambition, your energy, how you take action. So perhaps you have taken action and you're waiting to see how it's going to play out for you. Perhaps you've taken action in a way that is new for you. Maybe, that you were inexperienced in, and you're waiting to see how it's going to play out for you. And you're hopeful. The Three of Wands is a hopeful card. It's knowing that, that good is a possibility, that the good that you want is indeed a possibility for your life. And so the Three of Wands is saying, okay, you put it out there, you're hopeful, you're waiting, or maybe you are considering putting yourself out there in some kind of way, and you want to see how it's going to come back to you. But it's crossed by the Seven of Swords. And this is what's really pulling me in with Persephone's story, because the Seven of Swords is a card of trickery in a way of deception. I mean, even look at this person. Look, they're holding the swords, but they kind of have that little sneaky look, like, yeah, like I stole even the way they're holding the swords. It's like I stole the swords, and I'm getting away with something. And this could be either you or somebody that you are encountering, just like Persephone. In her story, it was somebody that she encountered. It wasn't necessarily her that was being deceptive. But the swords themselves represent mental energy. It's knowledge and information. So it could be somebody having information that you don't have, and they're using that in a deceptive way. So while you over here waiting, hopeful, you done put yourself out there, or you started that business, or you took a risk or whatever, but they have information and knowledge that you don't have, that might keep you in this position of just waiting and waiting. And maybe you just keep pouring your money or love or whatever energy into something that if you had all of the details, you might pull back, or you might try a different strategy. So seeing the Seven of Swords here, you want to be mindful if you are working with somebody else, or there's somebody else involved in whatever situation that you're in, that they are fully on the up and up, that they aren't withholding information or details that you need to be aware of. Read the fine print. Do your due diligence, so that you are aware. I'm not saying don't take a chance, don't take a risk, don't step out there in love, but again, like Persephone, always ask yourself, how is this choice benefiting me? Not just how is it benefiting somebody else, or not just doing something because you feel pressured to do it, but do it because it's in your best interest and in your highest good. If it's not, then don't do it. If anything feels shady to you, don't do it. If you get a little gut feeling like, I want to, but I don't think I should, then don't do it, because you don't know all of the cards that other people are holding. And then on the flip side of that, maybe it's you who's being deceptive because you're inexperienced, so you don't know. And so you're like, well, I'm not going to tell the whole truth because I want to see how it's going to play out for me, and there's nothing wrong with being strategic and making sure that you're making wise choices for yourself. But when you step into the realm of deception and not really being forthcoming, it's been my experience in the readings that I've done and just, watching folk, that it comes back on. It's going to come back on you. So it's not in your best interest to be deceptive, because sometimes, especially if you've been inexperienced before in something and you're like, man, they ain't going to get me again, or I ain't going to fall for that again, or I'm going to be wiser this time, but sometimes that teeters on deception, because instead of being wiser, you're just being more deceptive and not as forthcoming. So then you're still going to end up not really benefiting like you want to because of how you move. So you want to make sure that your movements are upright, that are on the up and up, that, you can live with, you know what I mean? Because you want your ships, this Three of Wands, you want your good to come back to you robust. You know what I mean? You don't want the negative consequences to come back to you robust. You want the good to come back to you robust and vibrant, So be mindful. Make sure whoever you're dealing with, that you have all the information you need, but also make sure that you are being open and honest, so that your best life. I don't know anybody's best life that includes looking over their shoulder, or always waiting for the other shoe to drop, or always waiting on somebody to figure out, that you weren't all the way up on the up and up. No. This week is all about how to free yourself to live your best life. Don't be deceptive. And also don't fall for deception. Just make sure all of the information that you need to know and that you need to convey is out on the table. So the wisdom card that came for you this week is, wow, blessed. Blessed and not stressed. And it's pretty much what it says, blessed. This is an opportunity, a time where you could really be walking in blessing. Excuse me. So blessed says something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected grace that is unforeseen, that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. There are moments in life when out of the blue it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. So this is a time of blessing. So then I would say, any opportunities, any chances that you're taking that may, that you are inexperienced in, and, you're just kind of spreading your wings and trying to figure out this next phase or this next opportunity in your life, that there's blessing there. Perhaps this is a good time for you. The only thing is just being mindful of to not be deceptive. Don't block your blessings from coming to you by being deceptive or by not doing the due diligence to see how, any information or details that you need to know might be being blocked from you. But outside of that, it's all good. All right, so that is your reading for this week, January 26th through February 1st. Make sure you comment your card selection down below on or before Monday, January 27th, to be in the running to win our January giveaway. Click the link down below to leave a love offering, to subscribe, to book your personal reading, to get the magic of self-love, to get your tickets to the secrets to amplifying your abundance through astrology, through crystals and astrology, and to watch Everybody's in Aquarius part 1 and 2. Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, part 1 and 2. All right, so that is it. As always, I so appreciate you watching, and I want to wish you all so much peace and love. Have a wonderful week. All right, so that is it for our pick a card reading for the week of January 26th through February 1st. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, January 27th if you want to be in the running to win our January giveaway. Get your tickets now for the secrets to amplifying your abundance through crystals and astrology. And that link is down below. Tickets are only $25 for that live class. Also, book a personal reading, get the magic of self-love, leave a love offering if these readings are benefiting you in any kind of way. And also like, subscribe, and share. Thank you all so much for watching. And until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love.